In 1735, a woman that went by the name of Mother Leeds became pregnant for the 13th time. Allegedly, her husband was an alcoholic, and they were struggling financially. She became so distraught over her new pregnancy that she threw her hands in the air and proclaimed, "Let this one be a devil." A few months later, the time of her baby's arrival was upon her. No longer remembering the curse she had pronounced on her unborn baby, Mother Leeds and the family gathered in one room of her house as midwives helped to deliver the baby. By all accounts, the baby was a normal, healthy boy. Minutes later, however, things began to change. The baby started to change right before everyone's eyes. It went from a beautiful baby boy to a hideous creature, the likes of which none of them had ever seen or heard of before. Horns grew from the top of his head. Claws, almost like talons, burst forth from his fingertips. Bat-like wings began to grow from his back. Hair and feathers started to cover the young boy's body. His eyes began to glow red and larger. What once had been her newborn baby boy was now a monster. A monster that turned its fury on its own mother, attacking and killing her. The creature began attacking everyone else in the room, viciously killing the midwives, killing and maiming others in the room. The creature made its way to the fireplace and flew up the chimney, escaping into the darkness. The creature, known today as the Leeds Devil, or more commonly as the Jersey Devil, roams the pine barrens of New Jersey, terrorizing anyone who crosses its path. Welcome back to What's Haunting the Hurst. This is a creature or entity that I knew at some point on this channel that I would need to address, namely the Jersey Devil. I told you the initial story. There are so many eyewitness accounts of this creature and the things, the terrifying things it does, that it would take hours to flesh all of them out. So I don't believe that I'm going to even deal with eyewitness accounts. It's like Bigfoot. It has so many that it's hard to pick and choose which ones that you want to talk about and which ones you want to leave out. So I take a little bit of issue with the Jersey Devil. Well, I don't know if take issue is a good phrase to use. The Jersey Devil interests me a great deal. It does not interest me enough to go searching for it. If I had all the funds in the world, and all the time in the world to go looking for all of these mysterious creatures that fill my mind every day, I can think of quite a few that I would want to go searching for. The Jersey Devil, however, is not one of them. As I've stated numerous times on this channel, I do like the paranormal. It does interest me. Well, but what I'm mostly interested in are cryptids. Creatures that I believe to be flesh and blood. obviously very rare, or at least very hard to find. But living, breathing creatures nonetheless. The Jersey Devil, I do not believe to be a flesh and blood creature. Perhaps it occupies a flesh and blood body, but I believe it to be a demonic entity. From everything that I read about it, I believe it to be a demon, and I will not, under any circumstances, go hunting for a demon. Now, maybe there's some high strangeness to the actual account of Mrs. Leeds' 13th birth. Maybe it didn't go as planned. Personally, I don't believe the birth story. I do believe that there is a demon out there that resembles the creature that was described in the introduction of this video. I've read enough. I've heard enough. I listened to a podcast earlier this week about this father and son that literally have spent the last years of their life, the last few years of they're not dead, the last few years of their life, studying the dirty devil. I'm having a good day, guys. Studying the Jersey Devil. They've literally went up to Leeds Point, which is ground zero, and they've been in the forests, the Pine Barrens and things like that, searching for this entity, and they have found it. They have seen it. They have photographic proof of it. And it scares the daylights out of them, but they still go out very often looking for this creature. It leaves footprints, which leads me to believe that it's a demonic entity that actually inhabits a body. I believe that to be something that can happen. But these people are at least smart enough. While I don't believe they should be out pursuing this thing, they're at least intelligent enough to know that if you're going to go after a creature like this to get evidence of it, do it on your own terms. They go in the daytime. They go in good weather. They're not going out on overnights. They're not camping in the darkness in the middle of the Pine Barrens, or any of this, because frankly they're too terrified to, and I do not blame them. There is a Catholic priest that does exorcisms. His name is Vincent Lambert. He is fascinating to listen to. You can find numerous interviews of him on the internet, especially YouTube. I would recommend Pints with Aquinas, which is a Catholic podcast that's on YouTube and other platforms. Look at he's got 2 interviews on Pints with Aquinas that are just fascinating. But he says in his dealings with exorcisms, that, it's not like you see in the movies where, on a dark and stormy night, they go to somebody's house and deal with the demon there. He said, we do it on our terms. We do it at a place of our choosing, at a time of our choosing. And we're not doing it at some dark and scary hour. We deal with it on our terms. And, they use very powerful prayers to deal with these demonic entities. And so I think this father and son are wise. If they're going to be looking for this creature anyhow, that they're doing it in the daytime. Doesn't really work that well with Bigfoot. You can find, in fact, the best video evidence of Bigfoot happened during the day, but most of the Bigfoot researchers, when they find evidence of Bigfoot, which is, most of the evidence is not footprints, it's not sightings, it's noises, the wood knocks, the vocalizations. Most of these Bigfoot researchers, they go out at night into the woods, and I fully support that, because Bigfoot, I believe, is a flesh and blood creature, not a demonic entity. But this Jersey Devil is a different story. I believe it's terrifying. Like I said, I don't believe the birth story. Maybe Mother Leeds gave birth to a deformed child. And people use that story to explain this creature that so many people have sighted in the New Jersey area. I don't know. But all I can tell you is this, is that if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's probably a duck, and it walks and quacks like a demon. So read about it, educate yourself on it, but I would not recommend going out and looking for it. I hope you enjoyed this Friday episode of What's Haunting the Hurst. I'm going to try not to make these podcasts as long as I usually do. I know most people aren't like me. I like a really long video. I like to watch one, and I like to hear as much information as possible. But I know, judging by today's social media, where you have TikToks where they're very short videos, that's not what keeps people's attention. So I'm going to end it there. Hope you enjoy it. We're at probably over 27,000 subscribers now, over 100, or subscribers, views. We've got over 150 subscribers. So the channel is a booming, and I'm enjoying it. I love getting this content out, and I hope you enjoy it too. And tune in again for What's Haunting the Hurst. And I hope you have a great weekend and a great rest of your Friday. Thank you.